Hey everyone! So I wanted to use my new MAC Rubenesque paint pot in the worst way. So I built a tutorial around it, and it is a golden peach look. And I know I did just post a tutorial, like a couple weeks ago, a week and a half ago, that was a peach taupe tutorial. But it was peach taupe and it was drugstore products, so this time we're going to do golden peach, and we're going to do all department store products. Except for I did have to include my color corrector by Essence because I do not have a department store corrector, and also the product that I use to fill in my brows. Also, I don't have you know, eyebrow pencil that is department store. So everything else is going to be department store and in the golden peach range or colors that will go well with that. So since I'm going to be demonstrating everything, I'm just going to show you first what my nail polish is today. It's Sally Hansen HD polish, and the color is light, and this is a golden yellow. So I thought that would go well and complement the other colors. My shirt is Mossimo from Target. My necklace is my Evil Eye necklace from Target. This bracelet I have had for a million years, so I have no idea where that's from, and this watch is just from Walmart. So that's all my stuff, and we're going to get started here with, today I'm going to use MAC Pro Longwear Foundation in NW20. This is the darkest foundation that I own. I went through all my department store foundations this morning, and I'm getting a little bit of a tan now from going down to the pool every night. And so I didn't want to use a really light colored foundation that was going to look stupid with all the warm toned products that I'm about to use. And on that note, keep in mind I am cool toned. I have pink undertones in my skin, and all the colors I'm going to use today are warm toned, so they're not ideal for my skin color, but I am of the belief that we should embrace all makeup colors and really have fun with it. You know, don't just wear half the colors, the ones that suit your skin tone. It's really fun to use all the colors, and the ones that I'm going to use today would look a lot better on someone with warm toned skin, but I'm going to do it anyway. So let's get started. I have not used this foundation in a long time, so it definitely needs to be shaken up, and I am going to use my Sonia Kashuk flat top synthetic brush. So I'm just going to put some of this on my hand. And I'm going to say 4 pumps because that's usually what it would take with most foundations that I use. Swirl some of that in there and just get started. And you do have to work really fast with this MAC Pro Longwear foundation because it dries almost instantly. So I'm going to try to go as fast as possible. Yeah, this is a very good color match for me right now. In the summer I'm in NW20, and in the winter I'm in NW15, and in the spring and fall I fall somewhere in between. So this is actually perfect for me right now. So perfect it almost looks like I'm spreading nothing on my face. But I definitely am. Yeah, that is an excellent color match. If you go to the MAC counter and they end up giving you a foundation that you don't feel that it's the right color match, don't assume that MAC doesn't have a foundation to match you. A lot of times it's because they matched you wrong. So the best thing is to figure out before you even go to the MAC counter, get an idea of what you think you might be so that you can kind of guide them through the process. Because even though they are a professional, sometimes they don't get it just right. A lot of times I try to color match myself before I even go if I'm going to buy a new department store foundation. Because you get so good at doing it when you're used to buying drugstore stuff. You know, there's nobody there to help you when you buy drugstore foundations. So, you know, go on the computer, try and look at pictures of the shades and try to pick it out yourself so you have somewhat of an idea. Okay, next I am going to use the Essence Forget It Concealer Palette, the peach color, because I don't have a department store color corrector to use. And I'm just going to blend that under my eye. I swear my dark circles just get worse and worse every day, so thank God for this color corrector, because it makes all the difference. I know Bobbi Brown makes one too, but if this works, then why spend extra for Bobbi Brown if I can get this one for like $2? I think this palette is $1.80 something, so God, how can you go wrong with that? Okay, that looks blended pretty well. And then, because my foundation is a little bit darker than what I would normally use, and this color corrector is very, very light, I'm just going to use a tiny, tiny little bit of Pro Longwear Concealer by MAC in NW20 right on top of the color corrector. I don't normally have to do this, but like I said, my foundation is getting darker now, so. And for a brush, I think I'm going to use this Echo Tools concealer brush. So I'm just going to put, this is so hard because one pump is like too much. So I always try to pump out like half a pump if possible, because I really am not going to use all this. So get some of that on your brush and then just go over the corrector and try to just even this out a bit so that it's not quite so obvious that you're wearing corrector. And even though I applied most of this with a brush, I'm still going to have to blend it out a bit with my finger around the edges, or it's, I don't know, a brush only works so well to some extent. So we're really doing heavy-duty concealer today. There should be no trace of those dark circles when I'm done here. I can feel when I'm patting the brush down, I can feel like the fluid that is built up under my eyes. I have like deep caverns of black circles, but then I also have some fluid buildup in between. And eye cream does absolutely nothing. I'm convinced of that now, that, you know, it really doesn't help. I've tried all different brands. I'm not buying any more eye creams. It's a waste of money. This is just something that happens to you when you get older. You get dark circles under your eyes, and you get the puffiness in between. Okay, that's as good as it's gonna get. So I've got corrector and concealer on today, which I don't normally go to this extent. Okay, so let's just get all that product off my hand and move on to the next step. For blush today, I chose MAC Melba. This is a powder blush. Because this is, you know, a peach colored blush. It's a warm toned peach. And let's see, what should we use for a blush brush? I'm going to go with one of my e.l.f. powder brushes. I like to fluff up the brush hairs before I apply the product. And let's start by just dabbing our brush in there. And I like to go right about here and blend it up. See, I just tapped that in there and look how much product came off. Went a little bit too far down there. I don't use this blush that often because I don't usually go for warm tone makeup. But it's nice to have something like this in your collection so that if you do want to go opposite of what you normally would wear for makeup colors, you can. Okay. Okay, and for my highlight today, I am going to use MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in By Candlelight. This was limited edition, but it has been released twice in the last 2 years with collections, so there's a pretty good chance that a lot of you may have this. If you don't have this, of course, you can substitute whatever you want. But that's what it looks like. And I'm just going to use the same brush that I just used for the blush, and I'm going to go right across my cheekbones. When you apply highlight, you want to go, always you want to go horizontally right across the top of your cheekbones. And this highlight is the perfect accompaniment to Melba blush. Those two nice together. Okay, next I'm going to take my MAC Rubenesque paint pot that I just got yesterday. Ooh, I can't wait to use it. By the way, I didn't test this look out in advance. This is like live on camera for the first time ever. So it's all going to be a big surprise for me too. So I'm going to use my MAC 242 brush, which is a synthetic shader brush, and put some of that paint pot on there. I've been dying to try this, but I really wanted to wait until I was filming to test it out. And I'm going to go a little bit into the crease. Not too far up though, but a little bit into the crease. So that when we use our crease color, we have something to grab onto. I can't believe I didn't have this already. You know, that's the thing with the permanent colors is you have a tendency to say, oh well, it's permanent, you know, I can get that any time. So then you never end up buying it because there's so many limited edition things coming out all the time that you never get around to getting the permanent things. And there are so many beautiful things in the MAC Permanent collection that just don't get enough attention. So I'm really glad that Makeup by Tiffany D used this paint pot in her video, or I would not have gotten to see up close and personal just how beautiful it really is. Okay, that should be plenty. Now for eyeshadows today, I went through my MAC permanent eyeshadows and I chose some that were golden peach, and here's what I came up with. This is rice paper. I'm going to use that as a highlight because it is a definite yellow toned highlight color. And then, let's see now. This one down here is Motif. It's a nice peachy color. This is Honey Lust. This is a peach golden. They're all in the golden peach family. And then this one up here is Jest. So those four I thought would be best to try out. Okay, so I'm going to start with my highlight. That's the way I like to do it. With my MAC 224 brush, I'm just going to take some of that rice paper and go right under my brow bone. And then just a little bit down to the crease area. Go a little bit lighter with the color once I get down there, because you don't want too much product there because then your crease color isn't going to be able to blend in well. Okay, now I'm going to switch to MAC shader brush. I fluff up the bristles on all the brushes before I use them because I deep clean my brushes every day, so when they dry, they're not really fluffy anymore. So I just fluff them up a little bit. Alright, let's go with Motif on the lid. That's definitely the most peach of the four colors. I'm going to pack that on my brush really well and just go right over the lid. This brush makes it so easy to do lid color. I often wonder how I did without it. I love MAC brushes. I do use the Sonia Kashuk and e.l.f. brushes for my face, but for eyeshadow brushes, I really love my MAC ones. I've tried some other things, but I always end up coming back to these. Okay, and then I'm going to just go back to the 224 brush because all I had on it was rice paper, so just, dust off the excess rice paper on your hand, and then I use this for my crease colors. And I'm going to use Jest, and I'm also going to use a little bit of the Honey Lust. But this is a different finish. This is a, oh God, the word just went right out of my head. Help me out here, people. Luster. Thank you. Luster, the Honey Lust is a luster finish, so it's got a lot of sparkle in it. So I'm not going to use a ton of that, but I'm going to use primarily Jest in the crease. So just go ahead and put some of that on your brush and start in the outer corner and work it in. Starting from the outside corner. Okay, now I'm going to pick up some of the Honey Lust and just work that into the corner. Okay, now I'm going to take a MAC blending brush like this. You know, again, use whatever you have. You don't have to run out and buy specific brushes by any means. And I'm looking at these inner corners where I put the highlight, the rice paper, and the Jest, and it definitely needs to be blended out right there because it's too light in those corners. And I'm just going to do a little bit into the crease. Okay, so this is a very, very subtle look. The peach is not overpowering. You could definitely wear this for every day. For eyeliner, I am going to use a limited edition MAC pencil. This is called Lured It Up. It's a Pro Glide Intense eyeliner. I don't have a department store brown eye pencil. This is the only one I have. So this is what we're going to have to use. And I'm just going to go right along the lash line. I'm trying to get just the right amount so that I don't have to smudge it. Usually what I do is either I put a small amount and then I smudge it out with one of these types of brushes. I call them smudgy brushes, but it's an accent brush. Or I just try to do a little bit at a time and get it nice and even and sort of smudge it like with the liner as I go along, if that makes sense. And then I don't have to smudge it with a brush afterwards. So that's why it took so long to do that. For mascara, I'm using MAC Opulash mascara. I'm not crazy about this mascara, to be honest with you. My favorite department store mascara that I have is Estee Lauder, but I figured we were using all these MAC products, so I might as well go with a MAC mascara, but I can't say that I recommend this. But I have it, and I bought it, so might as well use it. I just don't feel like it shows up very well. Okay. And I'm going to fill in my brows with Revlon Color Stay in Blonde because I don't have a department store brow product. I know some people use eyeshadows, but I've never had any luck with that. I make out much better with any kind of a pencil type applicator for my brows. So the area where my brows need to be filled in primarily are just right here at the beginning. And then I do usually just put a little bit in the rest of the brow just to kind of create the same color scheme, because of course this is not exactly the same shade as my brows, so I do have to run it through to make the color more symmetrical. But the rest of my brows don't really need to be filled in, just the beginning part. But I have to do the whole thing to make it even. Okay, and for lip products today, I'm going to use MAC Viva Glam 5 lipstick and lip gloss, and the pencil that I felt went the best with those is the MAC Subculture pencil. So I'm going to first use this lip pencil in Subculture. I do like MAC lip pencils, but it seems like there's certain colors that just seem to be missing from the selection. Okay, and Viva Glam 5, which you can still get, by the way. The only ones that they discontinued was the MAC Viva Glam Gaga and MAC Viva Glam Cindy. All the others you can still get. And this is just a really nice neutral lipstick with just a hint of pink in it. There's the MAC Viva Glam 5 lip glass. Oh, I smudged one of my nails. Oh boy. Okay, so that is that, and let's see what happens when I take my hair down. So that is my Golden Peach tutorial, department store makeup, except for a couple things I had to cheat on. And this is definitely a wearable, everyday look you could wear anywhere. And it would probably look much better on any of you out there who have yellow undertones in your skin. But I still think that even if you do have pink undertones, I still think that peach is a color that everybody can wear, as long as you play up the peachiness maybe and not so much the gold. But that's it for today then, you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.